Hey everybody, how's it going? Michael Mosley here with Bad Go Games here at TwitchCon 2019. And I'm joined here today by Mr. Rowland and Mr. Curtis. And they're going to talk to us about, was it Wormhole? Wormhole. Okay, so what exactly is Wormhole?
So I'll talk about that. So Wormhole is a platform that we're releasing in partnership with Twitch here at TwitchCon. And what it does is it allows you to be anywhere in the world and wormhole into other gamers, events and things as though you're actually there and walking around with them. So it's a new level of intimacy and interaction for gamers in a way that they can interact and be with the things that are meaningful to them, other players, big events, and games that they play.
So when it comes to Wormhole, you talking about it's a connection with players, a social connection. There's a lot of those out there right now. You know, VR chat is doing it. PlayStation did it back in the PS3 with PlayStation Home.
Right.
So what is it about Wormhole that you believe is the future of what VR chat and PlayStation Home missed out on?
Yeah, well, there's a few things. First of all, we are able to scale and have already scaled in a way that allows all gamers, regardless of the game and genre they're on. I'll give you an example. My sons change games all the time. And regardless of what game they're on or what players and situation they're in, they have a connection now in Wormhole that's across all layers of gaming and all areas of the world. And the other thing is very notable about it is that it connects you in a way where it's a form of enhanced teleportation and extended reality. And what I mean by that, if you think of Ready Player One, and what that did in a movie that was really exciting for people, is that it makes the world a situation where you're fully immersed in it. So with Wormhole, it's not just VR or VR chatting, and it's not just AR or even extended reality. It combines all those things. And the way it does it is, if you have a phone, you can simply look around you and interact with everything that's in front of you. People are avatars. You can interact, buy things, and play games and develop relationships as though you're just walking around and meeting everyone. So whether it's in front of you like Pokemon Go, or you say, I want to go across the world to other places, from your couch or seat or where you're standing, you can be anywhere in the world, immersed, fully immersed, walking around and interacting, all live with other people as though you're actually there.
All right, so you mentioned extended reality and augmented reality,
yes,
and even virtual reality. How exactly is Wormhole able to do all these things? You said it's on the phone. We see it in Pokemon Go, but it's still quite limited, even though Samsung and Apple, they're pushing what AR can do on a phone.
Right.
Just how much of that is Wormhole taking and pushing forward?
Well, Wormhole's been in development. We took the same developers. We were the first group, our development group, to create streaming video on mobile phones back in the late 1990s. And we took our very talented team and spent 5 years with many patents and patents pending to build this out. And so first of all, what's notable about it is that it is not just for any platform or any type of phone or any type of hardware. It transcends and works across all of those different phones. And it does it in a manner, it's a technology stack that allows you to say, I want to be somewhere, and it takes you there in a manner that combines virtual, extended reality, augmented reality, all in one. And we have algorithms that basically do that for you. I'll give you an example. If you were to wormhole into some streamer's clubhouse, and you wanted to walk around there are elements of that's actual AR, augmented reality, and you're walking around in it as though you're there in a real place in the real world. But wormholes go right through that clubhouse to take you to virtual worlds that streamer can set up, so the content is endless and the journey is endless. So we combine all these things into one and make it very simple and easy to use on a mobile phone. We will, by the way, we will be also extending this to other wearables and so forth as those markets become big enough and there's enough users for that to make sense.
So Okay, you keep saying that the Wormhole takes you to a virtual world. So is there an actual stage that players run on? Because you mentioned their avatars. So with these avatars, it's not just augmented reality. There's an actual 3D model virtual world where players can walk around, run around, and chat with others, correct?
Yes, and depending on what you want to do, it combines the real world. So you can wormhole into the real world and be walking down a street. That's augmented reality. It also combines the ability for, in that augmented reality, in that real world, if you want to extend and go through wormholes into virtual worlds, it does that as well. So it combines both of those, especially in the world of gaming. The world of gaming, all throughout the world, and you can't be everywhere at once. There are things going on, whether they're events and people that you can't be with everyone at once. So this allows you to go to the people and the places and things in the world of gaming socially to be there. And that's the real world component. Once you're there can be wormholes that are taking you into virtual gaming worlds and other experiences, and we combine all that into one.
All right, so when it comes to all this, you keep saying how it's social. How exactly does that connect with the games? You said it's an extension for Twitch. So how exactly will that work on phone, away from a live stream?
Yeah, so I'll give you an example with, and the reason we partnered with Twitch and so forth, is that Twitch does an awesome job of connecting people and providing a social platform for people to watch video streaming. And we enhance that experience and enhance streaming with what we call stepping into the stream. So I'm already watching, kind of passively. You watch videos, you don't run around in videos, you watch them. But with us, it allows you to watch the videos and step into the stream and actually walk around and go within the clubhouse of that streamer. So what it does is it allows the streamer to expand all the content that they're able to provide and the interaction with their fans and their followers, and it does it in a manner where they don't have to be grinding and streaming all day long. Even when they're not on or they're sitting at the beach, all their fans and followers can go into their Wormhole clubhouse and interact and walk around with endless content and endless virtual and real worlds that they've set up to have a much further enhanced experience. And so that's why the partnership with Twitch really makes sense, because they're the leader and have done such a terrific job in providing experience for gamers, and we're just enhancing that to allow them to step into the stream and go beyond that and be a little bit more immersed with the streamers they're already interacting with and following.
So then that means the clubhouse is always open no matter what, whether you're streaming or not. So, okay, since it's a 24-hour thing, just how much creativity can the streamer, the host, have with their clubhouse and what they can and can't do within that clubhouse?
Yeah, great question. So they can set up different basic clubhouses, and they can go all the way to customizing that however they want. They can have a huge mansion. There could be 1,000 rooms in it with all different kinds of content that people could explore for forever with endless content, or they can have a very simple one. That's up to the streamer and how they want to build out their clubhouse. Within the clubhouse, they can have things like walls with all kinds of content or products or merch or whatever the streamer already has or wants to put in. And so it's really to enhance both the experience for a streamer. They've already built up a following, for example. They've already grinded and done the hard work. And this is just a way to allow them to enhance the ability to interact with their audience and for the audience to have a lot of fun, even when they're not live and streaming.
So you said people who have a following already. What about people who are just beginning and they want to build this clubhouse for maybe just a couple of friends who watch every now and again? Right. Would there be a way to invite others? Like maybe I'm friends with somebody who just started Twitch and I'm in their little clubhouse. Is there a way for me to use my clubhouse if I have followers and like, hey, check out my friend or their clubhouse and their Wormhole? Would there be a way to connect those two or to have like connecting clubhouses?
Yeah, that's a great question, because Wormhole is for gamers of all levels and all types. And my sons at 8 and 12 they're just getting in the world of being a streamer and trying to reach out to people, and it's tough. And so what a Clubhouse does, and with our partnership with Twitch, it allows you, if you're already on Twitch, whether you're a big name or you're just getting going, to extend your reach and what you're doing on Twitch and as a streamer, as well as you can be on Wormhole and build it out through many other social media outlets, and it's integrated with all the big social media. So this enables you to get on Wormhole and start building it out and interact initially with your friends, and have all the things you're doing also reach out on social media to build your clubhouse on Wormhole.
So thankfully it reaches out further than just Twitch, which really helps. So how exactly does this work? You have all these connections. You already got people, they have their Twitch connected to their Twitter. So is it automatic, or do you still need to have permission with the extension to Twitter or Facebook or anything like that? Or is it all just plug in, already go on Twitch?
Yeah, so with our technology, it is integrated with all the big social media platforms. We do that to allow someone with a clubhouse and someone wanting to build out their following to leverage all the different social media. In doing that, our technology is integrated, but it's certainly up to the individual users and how their setup is with those individual platforms. So depending on the rules of engagement and interactivity when you're on Twitch, or how you individually have set it up to interact with, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, et cetera, that depends on how you as an individual want it set up. So it has the ability to reach all, but it can also be controlled depending upon you and your relationship with that platform.
All right, so let's go back to the mobile aspects of Wormhole.
Sure.
With everything being social, connected to Twitter and whatnot.
Yeah.
A lot of streamers, they're now doing a lot of things on their phones. They're doing a lot of things on mobile phones. Twitch themselves, they're really building up on their mobile platform. Right. Now streamers, they can interact with everybody off their stream on their phones. How will Wormhole allow the host to connect with everybody that's on their platform through their phone, just their phone, without streaming?
Right, great question. So we allow you to use the product with Twitch as an extension, but you can also use it on your phone. There's a lot of times you're not sitting at your PC and you're out and about, like here, for example. And so the mobile phone with billions of users walking around with it is really our focal point. That's what everyone's walking around with. That's what social media is thriving through, and so we work on mobile phones. You can just be on Wormhole, and if you're somewhere, people can connect with you wherever you are and actually walk around with you as avatars right next to you and experience something like this. So the mobile aspect is probably the most important aspect.
All right, that sounds like it's going to take a lot of it on the tech side, not only through Wi-Fi, but also through mobile devices. Just how will players be able to, let's say like your connection gets poor and you drop out. How will that affect somebody's clubhouse, since it's running 24/7? The host drops out. How does that actually affect everybody that's in his clubhouse?
Well, so I'll tell you, our development team has a lot of experience. Like I said, we were the first group back in the late 90s. Our tech team started mobile streaming and worked out agreements with all the major carriers, and we were the backbone of that in the late 90s and early 2000s. So we're very aware of the limitations of your cell coverage and your signals and all that kind of stuff. So without getting into a lot of detail, what I would say is it is maximized and set up for when you have full signal, partial signal, when you have Wi-Fi and so forth. So it takes all that into account, and it delivers to you the best possible it can given your cell and mobile and Wi-Fi coverage. So in doing that, I think your question was, what if you have some bad signal and you're dropped off or something like that? So when you reemerge at the point where you left. All the things going on in your clubhouse and on the Wormhole are all going on. You can emerge live right into it. You can also dial back in time and check out what went on if you missed a few minutes and so forth. So the definition of a wormhole is a connection in time and space. And so we connect you to wherever space you are in the world, but also in time. So the things I've described would allow you through Wormhole to check out TwitchCon, for example, a few days later or a few months later, and you'll be able to walk through it as though you were actually there from a few weeks ago because you missed it. Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm interested in the tech side of this whole thing.
Sure.
Because again, VR, AR, that's the future. It's getting a big push. How does Wormhole fit into that future? You guys said you was doing this back in the 90s. Now all this is a big emergence, and from what I hear, you had a big touch in Microsoft. So I know when it comes down to it, you've already seen the future. You guys were ahead of your time. So how does Wormhole fit into that future?
It's really interesting. I mean, when you think about what Windows is a platform. From that platform, there were multiple applications, multiple verticals that came off of Windows. But Windows made it easy because there was a simple way, we educated people on a way to do things, regardless of what segment you were going down. So when you think of gaming as the first segment this platform is going to go into. But people are going to learn how to use Wormhole and how to apply it. And then as we emerge in other segments out there with the Wormhole platform, these users are going to migrate over and be using it in other ways. So it's going to be a timeline that this is going to happen. But I can tell you this, that if I look at the impact of Windows and what Windows did as a platform, because it made things easier to use, essentially, that's exactly what Wormhole is going to do on particularly mobile devices, on the mobile phone, that we're going to end up taking this into multiple segments over time. And what I believe, and I've told Curtis this probably 100 times or more, is I actually believe Wormhole ultimately is going to be a larger platform and have more impact than what Windows does.
That's pretty bold. That's a lot of confidence. That's pretty bold.
And I believe that sincerely. I tell him that Windows was going to be on my tombstone. And I said, I don't think so anymore. I think it's going to be Wormhole.
Okay. So you guys have a lot of faith in Wormhole.
Oh, yeah.
So what exactly will Wormhole do past Twitch? I know you guys are saying you're focused on Twitch and mobile right now, but looking past that, because it sounds like you already know where you want Wormhole to go. So where exactly is Wormhole going past Twitch?
Well, what I can say is, so we work in 108 countries. We've been in beta, so we've been all over the world, all the major mobile markets, the biggest countries in the world, and we put the product out there under a different name, and we made no assumptions. We let the world use it, and we saw how they used it, and it was very interesting. And because of that, we've been approached by numerous industries, from travel to logistics to training to retail to entertainment. And I have two sons that are 8 and 12. And you know what they do all day and all night? They play games. They have a love of games. And it's really through the love of my sons initially, when my oldest one was crying. He had just he was done playing a game, and I said, "What are you crying about?" And he said, "Dad, I just met the coolest kid, great kid, and I'm never going to see him again, and I'll never get to know him. And I just played with him for a few hours." And it dawned on me like a lightning bolt that our platform should be launched for gamers. Because gamers, there's so much passion, and there's really nothing else that kids or people do for 8 hours straight but gaming. It's universal. And so because of that universal nature and really the love for my sons, I said, and I consulted with Rowland, and I said, we have a lot of industries, travel, retail, all hitting us up wanting to use this, but really it should come in gaming. And we should work with the top influencers, because that's all my sons do, is they follow the top influencers. They're heroes to them. And let's work with them, and let's bring it out in the world of gaming and through gamers with all that passion. And then, as Rowland said, it will be logically used for other things and go beyond that. So that's really why we're here with Twitch as the market leader and rolling out the product and then we'll watch it see, as Rowland said. I mean, as he named Windows and went to launch that, I'm sure he saw ahead of where it was going. And right now he's seeing ahead that this starts in the passion of gaming and in the world of gamers, spreading throughout the world with a great partner in Twitch, and then it will go do its thing logically, because people will use it for what they want to use it for, and they'll adopt it and use it for all kinds of things. They'll use it to buy things all over the world. It's fully transactional and commerce enabled. And so if people want to sign up right now, they can go to Wormhole GG and sign up, and they can reserve their name that they use amongst all their gaming platforms and get in early now.
They want to get in and do that now, right now, because they're going to not have their name. It's like a .com. I wish I would have had that vision. I got it would take out of a lot more .coms now.
So since we're talking about the future, digital is the future. That's just pretty obvious. Not only streaming games, downloading games, it's all going digital. Google's jumping in with Stadia. PlayStation has it with PlayStation Now. Microsoft, they're making a big push with their Project X Cloud. How is Wormhole going to fit with an all digital, all streaming ecosystem? Yeah,
well, we're a very open architecture. We don't want to limit wormholing, and if you become a wormholer, we don't want to limit you. So whether you're on your phone, your PC, and whether it's in combination with headgear and different things like that some people choose to use, it will work with all those things. What we do, because we are scaling and, like I said, work all across the world in all the major markets, we want to be agnostic and be able to work with any of the platforms. And we spent 5 years building this, and as we bring it to the world now, and in consultation with Rowland, who launched arguably the biggest platform and product ever in the world, we've taken all that into account to make sure that we work cross-platform on all this.
See, people forget that when Windows was introduced, there were multiple different operating systems out there. The computer all had their own proprietary system, and it limited the amount of software that was developed because you had to develop for a specific operating system. What Windows did, it brought everything into a single platform. So now it became agnostic. The software developers would develop for Windows, and it would apply to all these different computing systems. We're doing essentially the same thing with Wormhole. Wormhole, it doesn't matter.
Okay. So with Wormhole, Rowland keeps saying how it's kind of open. Will there be an open SDK so that way creative people can mod out or do things, but still be moderated, but they'll be able to code in whatever they like?
Yeah. So that is what we're doing. If you look at things, whether it's you take Roblox for example. My younger son plays on that, and it started off, did a terrific job, and then people and kids, they want to enter different worlds, different fantasy worlds to have fun, immerse themselves and enjoy. And so what you'll see through our SDK kit is you'll see that it can be adapted and other companies can take it to a next level and customize it. So when I go into different areas of the Wormhole, I can enter the real world, but it's filtered and looks different than if I entered in through this world or that genre. And this allows us to have millions of people all over the world on it, but it can be customized to the experience that you want and tailored and customized for you.
All right, gentlemen, that was that sounds really awesome. So you said go to wormhole.gg.
Yes, wormhole.gg. The company is Wormhole Labs, and you can look at the corporate site, which is wormholelabs.com, and we're launching the first product, the first version of it through Wormhole GG for gamers. So you can go to Wormhole GG and sign up and reserve your gamer name. Do it now.
Sign up because you will lose it.
If you do it later, you're going to be upset and you won't have it.
You're going to be very upset.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Well, I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
This sounds very interesting. I can't wait to see what you guys do with this.
I appreciate it.
All right, guys. So there you go. Wormhole.gg. Get your name in there, especially if you're a streamer. because somebody's going to want to take your name and pretend to be you. Don't let them do that.
Don't let them do that.
Don't let them do that.